Greetings YouTube, Fuzzfinger here. In today's episode of the Zodiac Age, we're going to continue on from the last video. I'm going to explain a little bit more about the Hunt Club in regards to how the rewards are going to work for this side quest, and then we're actually going to get into doing some hunts themselves. So I hope you enjoy watching, stay tuned, and let's get on with today's episode. Last time then, we completed the first hunt, which was kind of an introductory hunt for the quest itself, and we did that for the Hunt Master. And we learned about the trophy system. There's 30 trophies to collect in all, each one gained by killing a rare mark somewhere out in the world of Ivalice. And what we can do with the trophies once we've collected them is hand them in either to Atak here, to Blok, or to Stok over here. Now, who we hand the trophies in, and you probably got a hint of this when we spoke to Atak in the previous video, leads to the different rewards that we can collect. Which basically means we need to make a choice, because you cannot get all the rewards for this quest. You just can't do it. Because you get different rewards for giving all the trophies for Atak, for example, than you do for giving them to Blok and Stok. And you can share the trophies out and get various rewards for each of the NPCs here, but then you won't get their ultimate rewards for any of them. But what will then happen is there's a fourth set of rewards you can get, which depends on the combination of how you've distributed the trophies. So you need to really actually not give them to one person if you want to get that fourth set of rewards, because you can't get those if you give all 30 to just one of them. So I'm going to briefly go through some of the rewards here, because really what you decide to do is not something I can tell you is best or not best. It depends wholly on your character setup, your job setup, which jobs you're using the most, which you aren't using the most, etc, etc. So you really need to come to that decision yourself. But Atak here, he's the weapon procurer, so if we give trophies to him, we're going to be able to purchase weapons from him. And some of the better weapons that he's going to be able to give us are Ultima Blade and Masamune, and he'll hand those over if we give him 25 and 30 trophies respectively. And for Blok over here, then he's going to give us some armour, because he's the armour, the protectives procurer. And he's going to give us armour such as platinum armour, white mask, which is quite useful since it guards against holy. Completely makes you immune to holy damage. The Aegis Shield, the Dueling Mask, and if you give him up to 30 of the trophies, which is all of them, you can get the Grand Helm and the Grand Armour. And Stok is quite a useful one. He basically will give you accessories, starting with Thieves' Cuffs for a single trophy, the Ruby Ring, the Opal Ring, which is good because it makes Reflect nullified. You get the Cat Ear Hood, although that's pretty pointless because you can just purchase it for 50,000 gil, then make tremendous amounts of gil from it anyway. The Bubble Belt, and the Niho Paleo, which we've already collected, and in my opinion you only need one of them anyway. But you know, that's the options available from the 3 individual hunters here. But also, depending on how you distribute your trophies, other rewards become available. For example, if you give 12 trophies to Atak, and then 5 to each of these, the Artemis Bow and the Artemis Arrows become available. And also, if you give different setups, for example, if you give 5 to Atak, 12 to Blok, 5 to Stok, you can purchase the Black Mask for 18,000 gil. And if you give 10 to Atak and 5 to Blok, you can purchase the 8-fluted pole. Right, and that pretty much goes on. If you want some Genji gloves, which are quite useful, you'll need to give 5 to this guy, 5 to Blok, and then 15 to Stok. Now, ultimately, if you distribute all the trophies evenly, so you give 10 to each, some of those other rewards I've just mentioned obviously won't be possible, such as the Genji gloves, since you won't be able to give 15 to Stok. But if you gave 10 to each, then you get the Zodiac Spear and the Zodiac Escutcheon. And many would consider the Zodiac Spear to be one of the game's ultimate weapons. It's very, very powerful, there's no question about that. And so giving 10 to each of them would probably be appropriate. Incidentally, I should point out that all of the items you can purchase can be found by other means as well. So you're not really losing out in the sense that something becomes completely unavailable. As far as I'm aware, every single item that you can purchase from this quest is also available by other means, from chests or from steals from enemies or whatever the case may be. So you need to look at your jobs really and decide what's best with that information that I've given you. For example, the Zodiac Spear is great if you have an Ulan, and obviously I do. Bash is my Ulan. I forgot who was my Ulan then. So, you know, he would make very good use of the Zodiac Spear, and I could even do with the Spear upgrade for him, quite frankly. And, you know, he's also my Time Battle Mage. So, what can a Time Battle Mage get? Well, the Time Battle Mage can get the Tular, and you can get the Tular, which is a great crossbow, by the way. And you can get that by giving 25 trophies to Atak, and then 1 each to the others. Obviously, you can't get both. You can't get the Zodiac Spear, which requires 10 to each, and the Tular, since you'd be giving 25 to 1 then out of the 30. So you need to make a choice. Do I want Bash to be a, you know, a bow and arrow user with the, or a crossbow user rather, with the Tular? You get some grand bolts with that as well. Or do I want him to have the Zodiac Spear? That's a valid choice that I need to make. I can't make that choice for you. Perhaps you've got Ulan and Time Battle Mage on separate characters, and you want to decide which character needs a better weapon. Well, again, that's something really only you can look at. So I wouldn't go handing in trophies willy-nilly to begin with. Let them build up until you've had a good think about what it is that you want to do. For now then, what I'm really going to focus on is showing you how to actually get the trophies in the first place, how to find the enemies you need to find, how to get them to spawn, then how to kill them. And then once we've got a nice collection of trophies, we can have a look at spending them at the various of the 3 NPCs here. But again, that's going to differ for you than it is for me. So then, with that spiel out the way, and apologies if that was a little bit too much information, but it is important, I think, we can get on with actually hunting down some of these enemies. I'm feeling quite drab at the moment because the weather in this zone is very grey, the clouds are out, and that's actually matching the weather in real life for me. I'm looking at my window and it's identical. So, you know, everywhere's very dark around me at the moment. But without any further ado, let's get started, shall we? Okie dokie, so the first rare creature that we're going to be going after their trophy for is Ancbolder. And Ancbolder's located in Paramina Rift, so to spawn this guy, you need to head over to Mount Armistice. That's the closest save crystal that I know of anyhow. And then we're going to head south down into the rift itself. And we're going to just make our way through a few of the areas here to reach the actual location that it spawns, which is the Cardian Glacier, I believe it's called. So I'll bring up the map here. We're heading down to, staying to the east sections, down to this one here that's just in the centre of the screen. Hopefully you can see that. And what we have to do, because this creature won't just spawn immediately, incidentally it spawns with another rare creature as well, but that one doesn't have a trophy. What we need to do is clear, I think it's 12 enemies from the actual area that it's located in. And with any luck, that should get it to appear. So we're just about to approach the particular region now. And we need to kill 12 enemies while we're here. So there's one. Just pretty much, this is all we're doing. And I'm hopefully just finishing off the enemies here. That's 10, number 11. So there's 12 enemies in this area, and you do need all 12. So you can't let any stragglers escape, unfortunately. And once you've done that, you want to head back to the southern part of this particular area here. And as you can see, we have a couple of rare mobs, Ancag and Ancbolder. Ancbolder's the one that drops the trophy. So these guys shouldn't be too challenging by the time you pick this hunt up. You might want to dispel them if you struggle, but in all honesty, it shouldn't be a big deal. Once Ancbolder has died, you get the mine trophy. And you may as well just kill the other rare as well, of course. And there we have it. That's the first or the second rare, if you want to count the introductory rare. Next up, then you want to head over to the Salika Wood. So this is going to be the second of our rare hunts. And we're going to be entering the top section, the northernmost section, in order to find the rare game itself, which is an enemy known as Rageclaw. So we're just going to run there first of all, and I'll tell you what it is you need to do to spawn this little chirper. And it's quite a simple one in all honesty. So here we are in the northern section, and all we have to do is wait a minute. I'm not sure if this increases or reduces the time by having it on 4 speed, or if it's based on game time, but I'll keep it on high speed, and maybe it'll be a little bit less. So what we have to do is wait for a whole minute without killing anything. If you kill anything in this area, then the enemies are going to spawn. But if you just stand here, do nothing, don't attack, wait a minute, then Rageclaw is going to spawn. Now, if I just go onto the map, you can see there's an exit south here, which is where we've just entered from. Forget the north one, and one just to the west over here from the other part of the Salika Wood. Now, whichever, way in you use, whether it's the south or the west, the rare mob, when it spawns, Rageclaw, is going to spawn on the opposite side. So for us, he's going to spawn on the west. If you came into the west and waited there for a minute, then he's going to spawn here where we've entered around the south. Okay, I'm hoping that's been about a minute now. I'll just hold fleeing down. Don't think attacking a creature matters too much once it's actually spawned, but just to be on the safe side, I shall not do so. And if we just head over to the west here, we can see that the rare game has spawned just as we'd expected. So we're just going to go ahead and lay on the damage. So this guy is level 37 at most and has around 39,000 health. So once again, if you're doing this once you've accepted the quest, you're not going to struggle with this fight in any way, shape or form. And you get the sickle trophy for your trouble. By the way, if you just go to your key items, you can see your trophies collecting in that section. So you can't sell them or anything by mistake, since they are a key item. But I'm going to finish off here. I think if we go for about 2 per episode, it's probably a good balance between not having to do 30 episodes on this particular quest. We can cut that down to about 15, but also not doing too many so people just struggle to find specific marks. They only have to watch, one at most that they don't care about in order to find it. But that's going to be it for me for today, folks. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you've had a good time and that this has helped you out. And let me know how you get on with the Hunt Club, and also what you're going to decide to do with your rewards. Are you going to give them all to one NPC or not? So I'm going to try actually and put all the rewards down in the description, so check that out. I say I'm going to try. That's going to be a lot of typing, but I reckon it will help you guys out as well. So, let me know if it does. But that's it for me for today, folks. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon for more Final Fantasy XII. Goodbye.